Daddy's back, and he's bringing home the bacon. Davos rolled out the red carpet, but Trump's a realist, and he can read a room.
It's great to be back in beautiful Davos, Switzerland, and to address so many respected business leaders, so many friends, few enemies.
A few enemies flew no kings flags over Switzerland. They forgot Europeans still have a king. The Europeans can be a little two-faced.
They loved me. They called me daddy, right, last time. A very smart man said, he's our daddy. He's running it. I was like running it. I went from running it to being a terrible human being.
Daddy can be great until you misbehave. Then you need him to whip you into shape. Sometimes the Europeans think they can run things on their own. We don't know if that's nostalgia or delusion, but it's affecting our relationship.
Certain places in Europe are not even recognizable, frankly, anymore. They're not recognizable. And we can argue about it, but there's no argument. Friends come back from different places. I don't want to insult anybody and say I don't recognize it. And I love Europe, and I want to see Europe go good, but it's not heading in the right direction.
Europe used to be great, but they started too many wars they couldn't win, opened their borders, stopped having babies, and went full-blown socialist because they knew we had their back. One of the worst things they did was listen to Al Gore. That's how China swooped in and ate their lunch.
There are windmills all over Europe. There are windmills all over the place, and they are losers. China's very smart. They make them, they sell them for a fortune. They sell them to the stupid people that buy them, but they don't use them themselves.
Europe's buying windmills from China and oil from Russia, and they're wondering why they're barely slogging along. They must be blind.
I called up Emmanuel Macron. I watched him yesterday with those beautiful sunglasses. What the hell happened?
Macron can't see straight with the shades on his face, and neither can the whole continent. Finland, who we like, is getting too big for its britches. The Prime Minister said, "We don't need Uncle Sam. We can go it alone."
Can Europe defend itself? My answer is unequivocally yes.
Without the Americans?
Without the Americans, I mean...
How?
Well, look...
But you're relying on them for these key elements.
Even the NATO chief was like, "Really, Finland? Really?"
Alex, I love you, but you are not producing enough. Your defense industrial base has to ramp up, and you know it, so please spend time on that.
There comes a time in any father's life when they sit their kid down and say, "Son, you can't keep asking for money. I'm not a bank. Move out of the garage and get a job." And at first, you might not like it. You might think Daddy's being mean. But when you're older, you realize that Daddy knows best.
I really believe we can be happy that he is there, because he has forced us in Europe to step up, to face the consequences, that we have to take care more of our own defense. I'm absolutely convinced without Donald Trump, we would not have taken those decisions, and they are crucial, particularly for the European and the Canadian side of NATO, to really grow up in the post-Cold War world.
The Europeans know they need to grow up and pull their weight. They used to be able to shake down Barack and Biden and flatter them with empty promises and those European accents. And our leaders fell for it because they fetishized the concept of alliances, like a grad student who doesn't know the first thing about real power. Poland, who we also love, says, "Oh yeah, over 100 years ago, we beat Lenin."
You are not happy with this answer, I suppose, of Mark Rutte, that we need Donald Trump in the European Union, but we believe in our military service in Poland. I would like to add that Poland won with the Soviets and Bolsheviks. Finland won with the Soviets and Bolsheviks.
Okay, Poland, that was World War I. How'd World War II go?
Without us, right now you'd all be speaking German and a little Japanese, perhaps.
The Europeans have a very selective memory. Hitler dominated Denmark, and we babysat Greenland for, what, 4 years? And we don't even get a thank you.
After the war, we gave Greenland back to Denmark. How stupid were we to do that? But we did it. But we gave it back. But how ungrateful are they now?
Trump's still looking for spoils from World War II. Greenland's not too much to ask for. It's just an iceberg.
So we want a piece of ice for world protection, and they won't give it. We've never asked for anything else, and we could have kept that piece of land, and we didn't. So they have a choice. You can say yes, and we will be very appreciative, or you can say no, and we will remember.
Trump's like, you live in my home, you're on the family phone plan, we have dogs that you never take care of, you said you would, but you never do. A little appreciation would be nice. It's not like we want Greenland so our friends can't have it. The Danes, the French, the Finns, the Poles, it's all for us. It's even for the Greenlanders. We'll pay for it, develop it, and defend it. And that'll give the Europeans more time to fish and ride Vespas and go to the sauna, do whatever it is they do. All they have to do is sign on the dotted line.
All we're asking for is to get Greenland, including right title and ownership, because you need the ownership to defend it. You can't defend it on a lease. Number one, legally it's not defensible that way, totally. And number two, psychologically, who the hell wants to defend a license agreement?
When you rent a house, let's be honest, you kind of beat it up. You spill, you stain, you scuff, because you know someone else owns it, and they'll take care of it. I mean, I don't do that when I rent, but people do. And when you own a house, not only do you defend it, but you fix it up, you paint it, maybe put in a tennis court. This is a real estate transaction. Sure, Greenland's not officially on the market, but sometimes people don't realize they want to sell until someone makes them an offer. And it's not gunboat diplomacy like Venezuela. We don't even have an aircraft carrier anywhere near Greenland.
The military's not on the table. I don't think it'll be necessary. I really don't. Okay. I think people are going to use better judgment. They'll use their best judgment, and I don't think that will not be necessary.
Trump says we're not invading Greenland, and Denmark tells us to go F ourselves. Who's being insane here? The Europeans mobilized and deployed 34 soldiers to defend Greenland from the U.S. military. The question the media should be asking is, have the Europeans lost it? Denmark's being so ridiculous, we're not even negotiating with them.
Mr. President, the Danish foreign minister rejected your call to negotiate on Greenland. What will...
I didn't call him.
No, sorry.
I don't like getting it secondhand. If he wants to tell me, he'll tell me that to my face.
And when will you be discussing this?
I have no idea.
When you said
I'll be discussing it with this man right here.
Mr. President,
he's frankly more important.
Ooh, Trump went over Denmark's head to go negotiate directly with NATO. And guess what? Trump's leaving Davos with a deal. Quote, based on a very productive meeting that I have had with the Secretary General of NATO, we have formed the framework of a future deal with respect to Greenland and, in fact, the entire Arctic region. This solution, if consummated, will be a great one for the United States of America and all NATO nations. So it's a framework for a deal. We can call that progress.
Does it still include the United States having ownership of Greenland like you've said you wanted?
It's a long-term deal. It's the ultimate long-term deal. And I think it puts everybody in a really good position, especially as it pertains to security and minerals and everything else.
Bret Baier spoke to NATO Chief Mark Rutte, who confirmed Europe is going to be giving in a little on Greenland.
Today, this agreement on working collectively on this deal getting done on the Arctic region, I think we can really commend him for taking that leadership role. He is doing exactly what I hope he would do when he was re-elected, knowing him from his first term in office. And he's right that collectively we have to protect the Arctic region.
This is why you can't trust the media. All week, what'd they tell us? Trump was going to attack Greenland. We were going to go to war with NATO and fracture the alliance. They said he was mentally ill. But wait, Trump and the NATO chief are setting up a deal for Greenland. And there's not going to be any trade war, any war. And Marco and J.D. Vance are going to work out the details. Europe and America are going to be rich and safe. And Greenland gets McDonald's. It's a win for everybody. Everybody knows if a civilization isn't growing, it's dying. Now, we're not overextending. It's just a nice buffer, a nice piece of property with a few native villagers who can help us mine minerals and start rooting for the New England Patriots. You'd think of all countries, Canada, our neighbor to the north, would be ecstatic, but they're acting like we dumped them.
Canada gets a lot of freebies from us, by the way. They should be grateful also, but they're not. I watched your prime minister yesterday. He wasn't so grateful. But they should be grateful to us. Canada lives because of the United States. Remember that, Mark, the next time you make your statements.
Look how the media is covering this. Trump backs down on taking Greenland. So when he was going to invade, he's a bully. And when he doesn't invade, he's weak. Even after he got a handshake deal, the media spins it like he's retreating. Well, I guess he's retreating with Greenland in his pocket. Are American reporters upset that we're about to acquire the world's biggest island? Or are they upset that they were wrong and Trump's getting results? Either way, America's expanding. And when there's an American boom, we boom together.
I met Mr. Toyota in Japan. So what's your name? Toyota. I said, oh, do you own the car company? Yes, 92%. I said, you didn't have to be that specific. But I said, you're rich. Yes, I'm rich. But he just announced he's going to do $10 billion worth of plants.
Davos, to steal Charlie Kirk's words, was a turning point. America has reset the agenda and is schooling the world on what works and what doesn't. Open borders, outsourcing jobs, printing money to pay for socialism is a death sentence. And it wasn't just Trump delivering that message. American CEOs flew to Davos to tell the Euros straight to their face. Listen.
You cannot imagine how painful it was each and every day under the Biden administration to look at what new crazy proposal was being put into place to solve a problem that didn't even exist. There were so many decisions that were so poorly thought out in terms of economic consequences. It cost the U.S. economy dearly. I cannot emphasize that enough.
Biden would go overseas. He'd sign every treaty the Europeans put in front of him. He gave away billions of dollars. AutoPen went wild. Energy prices sky high. China, Russia ran wild. And then he'd go doze off at meetings or wander in an Italian field all alone and hit the sheets before the dinner party. And guess what? The Europeans loved him. Why? Because he was asleep and they had the man on a leash. He just handed out checks, patted everybody on the back, and forgot what century it was. What Trump's doing in Europe, this sends a message to China and Russia that the alliance is strong, that the American economy is back and ambitious. And we can create a new world order that works for us, not them. And that is the definition of America first.
Want even more Fox News on YouTube? Become a Fox News Patriot today. Click join to find out how.